Alright, so if we're just taking a look at Verasity, then you can see, obviously, as I predicted in the past few videos, once we did start coming down and closing below this 100-day moving average, which we have been above for a good while here, you can see, once we had this pump here with the tokenomics bullish bounce that we did see after we came down, we tested the low of that overall massive channel that we've been in for Verasity. You can see we came down, obviously, tested the low, got the bounce to the upside. Once we got above that 100-day moving average, it's been acting as support for a good while here. You can see every time that we've come down and we've actually bounced after we've come down and retested it recently, but obviously we've got stuck again like we did previously in and around this 1 cent area here. You can see we actually didn't get as high as that this time. We actually got up to the 0.38 Fibonacci here in this local area. We've got this kind of double top area with some bearish divergences, so you're probably thinking we'll probably have a bit of a cooling off period, but obviously with the bearish sentiment that we saw in the market over the past 3 or 4 days, combined with the fact that, you know, a lot of people have been discontented with the roadmap for Verasity going forward as well, you can see we started to close below this 100-day moving average here, and then since then we've had a little bit of a sell-off, and as I said in my previous videos, my target for this sell-off would be down here at the 0.23 Fibonacci, around half a cent, obviously a big psychological support as well. So overall, I do think that this level here is probably going to be an area where we're going to see a significant bounce. Obviously, every single time that we've come down and retested the low of this channel as well, you can see bounce here, and then we probably wouldn't expect anything different in my opinion for Verasity. Really, overall, it's just looking like, if you just basically, if I put this on the weekly time frame so it's even easier to see, really all that's been happening is that we came down, we bottomed out, we've had a bounce to the upside, we've come down, we've tried to go lower, we've bounced again, and then we're coming and trying to go lower again here, and we're probably going to see another bounce, aren't we? You can see on the weekly time frame, interestingly enough, we're actually under that 100 moving average on the weekly as well. So obviously there's a few resistances to get over here so that we can start seeing some upwards price movement. Obviously there's a bit of bearish sentiment in the wider market and specifically for Verasity as well, which has probably led to this decline that we've seen recently. But as people have been also stating, there may be some manipulation going on with some very, very large accounts selling a lot of Verasity at crucial moments as well. So lots of stuff going on probably behind the scenes, but all of that is kind of irrelevant really in my opinion. I still think Verasity in a year's time is going to be far, far higher in price than it is now, regardless of any technical analysis that I can give you in this short-term area. But in terms of what we're looking at recently, as I said, I do think a bounce here at around half a cent is going to be quite likely, or at least a bottoming out, doing something like this before maybe a return to retest that previous support as resistance. My target to the upside, as I said before, we're just going to be working the Fibonacci levels for basically the entirety of the bull market now, so I would say heading up to that 0.38 Fibonacci at around an 1/8 of a cent there is my next price target to the upside. So